many of you have received negative feedbacks? Have you ever received a negative feedback? If you are alive, I'm sure you have. Right? Thank you. And did you ever have a challenge of how to deal with the negative feedback? And you have this all sorts of confusions, whether I listen to this, whether I don't listen to it, whether is this the person to listen to from, or is this not the person, or the typical response. Who is he to talk to us about it? Who is he to give me a feedback, he or her, right? That's a typical response that comes from inside. Another thing that comes up is, really, as in, do you really mean that? I don't think so. I don't agree to it. I am this. I'm not at all what you're saying. You're getting me completely wrong here. And I am the best, or if it's a business situation, my services are the best, my business is the best, and all of that stuff, right? So the real question is this: how to deal with negative feedback? Negative feedback. And would you love to learn a lot more about it? And would you love to become better at it? Right? Okay, so this video is for you. You are here at the right place, watching the right video. And my name is Sudhir Khollam, and I'm the president of Success Habits Academy. And it's a place where we coach entrepreneurs, help them create million-dollar businesses, reach the true potential of their business, and automate their business in a couple of years. By working not only on the business but at every other area of your life. And so, for example, dealing with negative feedbacks is another area. How do you deal with that? What's the mindset for it? What are the strategies for it, and all of that, right? Okay, so let's get right into it, right? Let's get right into it. Negative feedbacks. Let's decode that. Let's go deeper into that term, negative feedback. And by the way, negative feedback, when do we say some feedback is negative? And the simple answer to that is this: it's when you believe it's negative. Yes or no? Right? And when your mind makes you believe it's negative, and that's the first thing, right? That the mind will get into it. And the mind wants to protect you. The mind wants to tell you, okay, you're not that, don't worry about it, you're safe, you're doing the best, and you don't need to worry about it, and all of that, right? That's the first thing the mind will tell you the moment you're reading or listening or receiving a negative feedback, yes or yes, right? That's how the mind starts talking to you. That's the first thing. Now, why does a mind want to talk to you like that? Because we are part of nature, yes? Are you a part of nature? Are you alien? Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, but yeah, thank you. You are part of nature, I am a part of nature, we are all part of nature. And what happens when we are part of nature, there's this natural thing that is to resist to change. Yes or yes? Yes or yes, right? Okay, go ahead, be honest with yourself. There is a resistance to change. Even when I talk about myself, if I want to change on something, yes, there is this initial resistance to change that is there, and it will always be there. That's how my mind is. That's, I gotta accept that. And it's from this resistance to change, the mind is coming up with all sorts of reasons that this feedback could not be true, or could be true, or could not, or could be, or could not, or could be. You never know. It's an ongoing confusion that the mind wants to create, so that you just completely ignore the topic probably and just not work on it. But I'm not saying it happens with everybody. All I'm saying is probably most of us are there, right? Even I am there, and that's the first response that the mind starts coming up. Now, the key thing is this: what do you do next? And the first step to do next is acknowledge this response that the mind is giving you. And that's the first step to start dealing with the negative feedback. Even before you start judging the feedback, you got to start dealing with this feedback in here, inside your head. Yes or yes. Okay, so that's first step. Become aware, acknowledge what's the response that you are getting from within. Right? And whatever that response is, nothing true, nothing false, nothing right, nothing wrong. That's just a response that you are getting. Yes? Okay, and be okay about it. Be okay with yourself there. Okay, be absolutely okay, right? And that's the first step. Now, the moment you have done that, what happens is something really magical, is what I call it, is you start listening to a voice inside you. And that's the real voice I start trusting. And that it's a faint whisper, all right? And that whisper is simply this: okay, this feedback is true. You need to work on it. Either that, or okay, this person right now is just making things up, and you don't want to listen to it, and just go ahead with it, right? Just be yourself, right? And that's the voice. If that's the key. That's step 2. If you can identify that voice from within, whether a negative feedback you're getting, from whom you are getting, what the feedback is about, how it is told to you, and all of that, based on all of these feedbacks that you are getting from the person in front of you, you gotta acknowledge that voice, that faint whisper, which I have learned, which I call it as the true self. You gotta acknowledge that, and you gotta be willing to identify that voice. You gotta be all the time in search of identifying this voice, that yes, I gotta listen to this is true, this will make my life a lot better, I gotta work on this. And or okay, this person, we just don't want to be there with him, okay, he's just not meant to be in your life, just stay away from his feedbacks, just stay away from that person also, right? These are both the kinds of feedback this faint whisper is giving you. And remember, this voice somewhere, you feel like it comes from within, somewhere inside you, and probably you cannot trace the location of it, where it is coming from, but it definitely does not come from here. It definitely does not come from your conscious mind, is how I would put it. And this is the most trickiest part, all right? Do I listen to this or do I don't? And listening to that faint whisper, that true self of yours, that's the most critical part when it comes to dealing with the negative feedback, right? The moment your true self says, okay, stay away from this feedback and stay away from this person, probably he's just putting his shit on you, pardon my language, he's just putting his shit on you. You just do that. You just stay away, okay? You take it from here and you throw it out from there. And but if your true self tells you, okay, this is true, okay, you got to listen to this, and you got to make this change happen. And however clumsy you're going to feel at that moment of time, your true self is telling you for a reason. And that reason is simply this, that you are bigger. You are bigger than what you believe you are, and that's why this change has to happen right now, so that you start living up to your next bigger standards, right? And the moment you listen to that true self, from somewhere that energy will come up, somewhere situations will come up, and you will make that change happen, right? So that's second step to dealing with the negative feedback. And probably not only negative feedbacks, dealing with all sorts of feedbacks that you are getting. There are sometimes people want to just give you positive, 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 positive all the time. Just want to give you that. And some people might have an agenda behind, giving you all sorts of positive feedbacks all the time. And you got to be aware of that also, right? So, dealing with feedbacks, all right? So, that's step 2, listening to your true self. Step 3 is simple. If your true self tells you and if you agree to it consciously, also you're all congruent. Your conscious self agrees, yes, this change has to happen. Your true self is there. Your subconsciously also, yes, this change has to happen. So, the step 3 is simple, right? Make the change. Do whatever it takes. Okay, what are the words? Whatever it takes, okay? Again, repeat it. Wherever you are, just repeat it right now. Whatever it takes. Go and do that. Alright, if you have somebody besides you right now, give them a high five and tell them, I'll do whatever it takes. Do that right now, I'll do whatever it takes. Do that. Okay. Thank you, right? And yeah, go ahead, do whatever it takes and make that change happen. And mostly it helps to find a person who has already, surpassed you on that, in that particular thing, gone at a higher level. You just talk to that person and, just tell him, how do I do this? And how do I get this ingrained in me? I want to make this change happen. And that is where the importance of a mentor comes in. Alright? And having a mentor, having a guru who is an inspiration to you, by the way. That is very, very critical and very, very important. The guru has to be an inspiration to you. And you make the change happen, right? That's how you deal with negative feedbacks or any sorts of feedbacks, and make the change happen, right? And that's the key, finding out the right things from the right people, the right feedback from the right people, set it in the right way. Now, step 4 probably could be paying close attention on the way that feedback is given to you, right? And you'll quickly judge. We human beings are super powerful. We can quickly judge whether that feedback is coming out of their own stuff, their own shit, alright? Or that feedback is really coming from a place wherein they firstly, that person is at a higher level than you, and secondly, that person is giving you that feedback with genuine love, genuine care, believing that that's your next level, that's where you need to go next. And you'll come to know from the way it's delivered to you, the tone, the pitch, the language used, the words used. You'll get it, alright? And you'll have your own system to identify it, okay? So that's step 4, just pay attention, close attention to how that feedback is delivered. And step 5, which is actually step 0, okay? This is the first thing you got to do whenever you receive any kind of feedback, right? And however you received it, in any mode, okay? It's message, it's video, it's audio, it's actual, however you receive it, and in whatever tone, whatever volume, whatever pitch, whatever stuff you receive that feedback in, this is the first thing you got to do. And that's first thing, this is step 5 or step 0, alright? And the first thing is say thank you, alright? Thank you, thank the person, thank that energy, bless that person, say thank you for the feedback. At least that person took out time of their life and has given you feedback, alright? So that's the first thing you got to do, just say thank you, nothing else. From your bottom of your heart, say be grateful for that feedback. Some of these feedbacks are going to take you to the next level, right? So just say thank you. And then you can go through step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, alright? So say thank you, alright? That's very, very critical. Every time I receive any feedback or any response for that matter of fact, I say thank you for that response, Sometimes we want a response so much, we want reciprocation from somebody, but that just doesn't happen, right? How many of you relate to what I'm saying? Do you relate to what I'm saying? Has it happened to you? And so the moment I get any reciprocation, any response, the first thing I say is thank you, all right? And so that's probably step 0 whenever it comes to dealing with feedbacks. Say thank you, right? And step 6, the final step, is don't take it personally. All right? Don't take it for any kind of feedback, be it good feedback, be it bad feedback. Don't take it personally, right? And don't get your mind into it. Don't get your monkey mind, don't get your donkey mind into it. Listen to your true self. I'll say that again. Don't take it personally, right? If your true self tells you, okay, this is the feedback you have to work on, you will just work on. If true self tells you, okay, this feedback you can just ignore the person, ignore the feedback, you just ignore it, right? But don't take it personally. Why did the person say like that? I am not like that. My services are the best. No, what they're talking is crap, or no. You never know. They might be telling you the truth, but your monkey and donkey are just loud enough and taking things personally. Or the feedback might be, you are the best guys ever. Your services are the best. Your behavior is the best ever, and all of that. And your monkey donkey takes it really personally again, and starts behaving in a way that you are perfect, which you are not, right? So that's step 6, all right? Don't take it personally. Easier said than done, and probably I cannot involve it in this video. It's already 16 minutes I've been talking about this, but anyways, right? That's it. Step 6 steps to deal with negative feedback, and just check it out, make it work, and let me know in the comments below what you feel about this. And another thing you got to do, if you are watching this video on my YouTube channel right now, all you got to do is subscribe. Okay, there's this red button, and it says subscribe, SUBSCRIBE, right? Just click on that button and subscribe. Okay, subscribe. More videos are coming up, a lot of improvements, a lot of developments, and I keep on doing these videos whenever my students ask for questions like this. And so thank you so much for watching. You guys are awesome. You guys are a Success Habits Mastermind, and see you in the next video. Bye bye.